Welcome to tonight's recap of Dancing with the Stars.
All right.
I hope this shirt is not going to be a problem.
I hope you're not just a floating head right now with a dog on your chest.
All right.
They started off the show with this sexy pro dance with the celebrities.
They had some celebrity involvement, some more than others.
Some were sitting on chairs. We're not going to mention any names.
Gotta love the chair dancing.
Yeah, he wasn't even doing that. All right, so is there a sexy new haircut for Peta?
At first I thought it was, then it looked like she had it tucked under. I can't tell. Do you guys know? And
I think it's a cut.
If it's cut, what do you think? Did you like it?
I don't like it. All right, surprise! They dropped a bomb right at the beginning of the show.
It's a double elimination.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
All right, well, let's talk about the dancing for a while.
Yeah.
Drew and Cheryl were up first with a jive, and it started off pretty similarly to last week with some lip syncing.
He's really into that lip syncing.
I'm not complaining. I like it.
Okay.
Didn't he lip sync during his intro for the Drew Carey show?
On many occasions. Wow, he didn't die.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's in shape now.
When you're like a little older, you're gonna do a jive. It's tough for a young person.
He looks like my dad.
He does. He really does.
He was still stiff, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but pretty good.
Pretty good for an old geezer.
21.
All right, Danica and Val. They had a little samba planned.
Which is one of the more difficult dances, so that's pretty rough to do that the second week.
Well, she sensed the roughness of this and had the old meltdown in the stairwell.
Classic.
Why have the cries? You did so good.
She was really great.
Give her your coat. Give her your coat.
Yeah, there were a couple times when she would spin out and she was kind of like, whoa, where am I? But for the most part, it was great. And she had a really difficult routine.
Samba rolls and more.
Like Val said, he would do that routine with another pro.
Yeah, it looks really good. They got a 24. I thought there should have been at least 1.9 in there.
I don't know. It's really hard to nail down that samba technique in a short amount of time.
But she had the bounce. She had it all.
There's more to it than that.
Baby, she had it all.
All right. Moving on to Billy D and Emma with a tango. He was getting a little discouraged during rehearsals. He was like, I feel like an old guy trying to do the tango. And that made me really sad.
I was sad too for him, but you know what? You're on the show. You got to put out.
Yeah, but it was sad.
So she had to scrape up 2 other girls to prop him up during the dance.
Yeah,
because
they brought in 2 of the troop girls.
It was hard to watch. I'm not going to lie. It was hard to watch. It was never hard to watch Cloris Leachman.
Really?
I always have to gauge it by... No, it wasn't hard to watch.
I think you need to go back and watch some of those routines.
She was entertaining. He's just going through the motions.
All right, well, what are you
And the judges were all like, hey, you're having fun. You're great.
What do you want them to say? You effing suck. No.
All right, I guess not.
Well, he ended up getting a 15. I don't think the scores really matter.
No, they don't. Meryl and Max up next with a swing.
Yes, this was a high energy dance. It was more of a Lindy.
Yeah.
It started out in the skybox.
Lots of lifts.
Yeah, Meryl was like, let's do lifts, let's do lifts, Max. And he was like, ah.
Come on, Max, she weighs 5 pounds. You're not going to hurt her.
He's not used to throwing people around like that.
She made mistakes. The judges called her out on it.
It was kind of a...
Guess what? Everyone made mistakes. Nobody did a perfect program tonight.
Well, they ended up...
Especially that Charlie.
They ended up with a 25, which I thought was a little low. They are really scoring her tough because that was a crazy routine.
I'm sensing a double standard here. I'm biting myself. Erin and Max, mostly Erin, because I don't think Max wants to participate in this. Leave him alone. He's got a new partner now.
Sorry. You're working.
Yeah, exactly. It's embarrassing because it's like they ignore Meryl and she's like down here and they're up here and it's not a good look.
Maybe you should write a strongly worded letter.
I think I might.
All right, next up, let's talk about Diana and Henry.
They went home.
They're going home.
Really?
That's really sad. Well, they weren't going to just let them spend all week preparing and then not dance.
She's like, what? You don't want to see our dance? We blocked our bodies for 3 weeks. You don't want to see?
All right, well, they did a cha-cha to the song.
White Chicks.
It's a song outside of that movie, but we always think of that scene in White Chicks. Isn't it the fashion show?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she looked like one of the Wayans brothers doing a cha-cha.
Oh. She tried.
All right.
She's probably not used to walking that much.
I guess not.
She's always in the water.
Her legs don't move like that.
Well, good for her for trying.
Yeah. She's a nice person.
So then they had a little aside.
Oh, Jerry Miller's in the audience. Who are you rooting for?
Well, remind everyone who that is, because I was like, who the hell are you?
Jeremy Miller dated both Candace Cameron and Danica McKellar.
Not Patrick.
No.
Yeah. They talked about it last week. They touched on it. He left Candace to be with Danica.
Exactly. So who's he rooting for?
Oh, I think he's gonna root for Candace for a while, and then he's gonna end up rooting for Danica in the end.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, next up,
Candace
to go
and
with
Mark.
the flow, Candace and Mark with a rumba.
All right.
This isn't gonna be some dirty, over-sexualized rumba.
She's Christian. I am sick of this already. I'm sorry. I'm sick of this already.
There's nothing wrong with being Christian, but you don't need to, like, I'm Christian.
I can't do a dance with him. You're an actress, too. Would you know, come on. Just
I don't
pretend.
know. Nobody said you had to be, like, rubbing all your stuff all over the place.
Exactly. This was a really weird dance.
Yeah.
Where was the rumba? This was like an angry fight, like he was trying to kill her.
I feel bad for Mark Ballas because
Me too.
I don't think he's getting the full level of creativity, like the full freedom to do what he needs to do to keep her there, because I think she's really sabotaging herself.
She's not cooperating.
No.
She's not adding anything to the show.
Again, I'm not saying you have to go out there and be like, blah!
Yeah.
But, like, the rumba is not disgusting. Like,
it doesn't have to be. I mean, didn't children do it on the show who were like, you know, teenagers?
They would have been much, much better off just doing a regular rumba.
And not so sexy.
Nobody said you had to go crazy.
You could have done a G-rated rumba.
Instead, they did some weird stuff. It was more like contemporary lyrical than rumba.
It was horrible.
Well, they got a 21.
They deserved it. That was even kind.
All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Amy and Derek up next with a swing dance. She was worried if her legs would come off.
That's scary.
It is scary, but I think... well, you gotta laugh it off if that happens.
So you guys see that tweet? If your legs fall off, just laugh it off.
Everyone knows. I mean, shouldn't be a big deal, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Derek is a master choreographer.
Yeah, he really knows how to highlight the strengths of his partners. And he really did that here.
He really did.
Kudos to them.
And they only got a 24. I was hoping there was going to be a 9 in there.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty fair.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun too.
Really fun.
Okay.
James and Peta up next with a salsa. Peta's a dirty girl. She always makes the dirtiest dances for her partners.
Sorry.
Because she always gets the too sexy partners. She does. This was very high energy.
It was.
And it was also fun, even though it was very dirty. Candace Cameron was in the corner crying.
She was crying away. Just kidding.
Carrie Ann even said this should be in my sexy Hall of Fame.
Carrie Ann needs to stop fantasizing and chill out.
She is like a dog in heat. She really is.
She was the only judge to give him a 9, and the other 2 gave him 8s, which gave him a 25. I thought the 9 was like pushing it because while it was fun, he was a little bit like all over the place.
Well, you know who else always does dirty, dirty dances?
I do.
Sharna. And she was up next with Charlie. They had a tango. And Carrie Ann again.
I didn't find this one that dirty, so.
Carrie Ann again was drooling over Charlie, saying he was like a wild-haired Baryshnikov. It was great-ish dancing. It was supposed to be a James Bond character.
Not really.
They were trying to channel that for him.
I don't know.
I wasn't
I have to
buying
say,
it.
I thought the technique was great. I really enjoyed this dance. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, apparently Len didn't like it because he gave a 7 while the other judges gave 9.
His issue was he said that they broke hold in the middle of the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I see them do that all the time. And I feel like they pick and choose when they want to enforce that.
True.
So it's not really fair.
Agreed. I mean, the dancing was good, but I wasn't buying the character because he's the dork.
I was buying it that, like, at the beginning and the end, maybe not, but in the dance, I thought he was owning it.
Okay. 26. NeNe and Tony up next with jive. Her husband chose this dance for her to choose.
Yes. I think she was regretting it.
I think so too.
Jive is really tough.
It was a cute routine, but not that good.
Yeah. Well, it was okay.
Tony called out Carrie Ann.
Carrie Ann was like, I want to see your arms bigger and blah, blah, blah. And Tony's like, Jive? Arms are here because you're moving quickly.
Exactly.
You would know that if you were a ballroom dancer. Carrie Ann!
Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. All right. 21. Sean and Karina up next. You know, the guy was growing on me.
You know, I was looking forward to his stuff because, like...
He's deliciously creepy.
He's weird. I wanted to see where it was going to go. Well, they had a salsa.
Yeah. And it was way better than I ever thought it could be.
It was.
He was really good. And they only gave him a 21.
Well, I wouldn't say he was really good.
I was shocked at how good he was compared to what I thought it was going to be.
That's different.
Isn't that the whole point of this show?
I guess.
All right. Cody and Witney were the last dancers with their tango. Mm-hmm. Frame was horrible.
I really liked the vibe of this dance. The Chris Brown song, the white, the light up
moonwalk.
costumes. It was cool.
Yeah.
But he needs to work on his technique. It's the same thing that they said last week.
He was hunched over her like she was a toilet that he was throwing up in.
Yeah, I don't think really.
Yeah.
The judges were saying maybe it was like a height difference problem. I don't think that was the
main
whole
issue.
reason.
No.
Like maybe a little bit, but
the technique was poop. It was
still a fun routine to watch.
It was a 22. That was kind.
Fair.
All right, so unfortunately, my deliciously creepy Sean and Karina were eliminated. I wanted to see more of them.
All right.
Who's next to go?
I don't know. And what's going to happen with this partner switch up? Because they're leaving it up to America to
I don't think it's going to be next week, but it's...
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks, I thought.
Yeah, okay. Who do you want to see go, or who do you think should go? Leave it in the comments. Discuss it with us.
Do you agree with who was eliminated this week? Let us know.
All right. I'm thinking it might, unfortunately, be NeNe.
I don't know. I'm just going to go with an I don't know.
All right. She's non-committal. She's not ready to commit. But we'll be back next week. And until then, much love.
Edit.